Hi everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I wanted to share with you guys my favorite maple pecan banana bread recipe. You guys are going to love everything about this easy banana bread. It's so delicious, it's moist, it's dotted with crunchy pecans, and we're going to be using some maple syrup to sweeten the bread. You can also add an optional maple glaze on top to make it even more delicious. This banana bread is perfect year-round, but especially during the fall months, it's a real treat. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make this easy dessert. I'm going to start by placing half a cup of unsalted softened butter into a large mixing bowl along with a quarter cup of white granulated sugar. And I'll use my mixer to beat together the butter and the sugar for just a couple minutes until it's light and fluffy. Next, I'll add in 2 large eggs, and then I'll beat this mixture again for a couple more minutes until the eggs are well beaten. And now for the rest of my wet ingredients, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I'm also going to add in a teaspoon of maple syrup extract. Now this is optional, but this is actually one of my favorite extracts. It adds so much incredible flavor. I purchased this on Amazon. I'm going to leave a link down the video description box below. I'm going to add a teaspoon of this, and it just adds so much incredible flavor to this banana bread. I'll pour in half a cup of pure maple syrup. And we'll add half a cup of Greek yogurt. And I'll grab my mixer and give this a mix for a couple of minutes. For my dry ingredients, I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'll add in half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'll sift my dry ingredients into the batter. Grab my mixer and give this a mix for about a minute until that flour is well incorporated. I'm going to set aside my batter for now and get started on the bananas. So you want to use really nice and ripe bananas. We're going to need 1 cup of mashed bananas. Usually takes me about 1.5 of these. Drop them into a plate, and then I'll use a fork to mash them. And ripe bananas really work best for this recipe, especially if you have a couple that are almost going bad. It's just going to add really great sweet banana flavor into the bread, and plus they mash up so much easier. And I'll add the mashed bananas right into the batter, along with half a cup of diced pecans. Now I actually have 3/4 cups of pecans here. I'm going to reserve a little bit for topping the bread as well. And then I'll use my spatula and fold everything together. You want to make sure you have a uniform mixture of the mashed bananas and the pecans in the bread batter. This already smells so incredibly delicious. I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Today I'm going to be using an 8.5-inch loaf pan, just spraying down the sides with a little bit of baking spray. And I'm going to line the inside with some parchment paper. This way it's so easy to just kind of lift the bread right out of the pan. And we'll transfer this batter into the prepared pan. You guys are going to love this recipe. It comes together so quickly. And it tastes so incredibly delicious. I actually usually make 2 of these loaves because they're gone so fast. All right, let's sprinkle some more pecans over the top. These just make the banana bread even better. They had a little bit of crunchiness, that nutty flavor. So delicious. And my maple pecan banana bread is ready to hit the oven. It's going to bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 50 to 60 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. Once it's done baking, you want to use these little parchment paper tabs to lift the bread out of the pan, set it onto a wire rack, and let it cool. I'm going to come back and show you how to make that easy maple glaze. It just makes this bread taste even more incredible. My banana bread is cooling, and now I'm going to make a simple maple glaze. So I have a cup of confectioner's sugar. To that, I'm going to start by adding 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Pour in a little bit of cream. I just added cream and maple syrup until the glaze reached my desired consistency. Just want it to kind of flow easily off the whisk. And then I'll use a spoon and drizzle this glaze over the top. I can't wait to enjoy this banana bread. It is so incredibly delicious. And now let's cut into this banana bread so you guys can see what it looks like on the inside. I usually cut off this very edge piece. Gets a little crispy in the oven. And check out the inside with the bits of pecans and bananas. And I love having the extra pecans and the glaze on the top as well. And that's it for my maple pecan banana bread. This smells so incredibly delicious. I can't wait to dig in and enjoy. For the full list of ingredients and the recipe, head on down the video description box. You'll find a link there that'll take you over to my website where you can print this recipe off and you can find it with metric measurements. Time to dig in and enjoy. This looks so good. I'm just missing a nice cup of warm coffee on the side right now. I also like to add a little bit of salted butter to this bread when it's warm. It just gives it even more incredible flavor. This is the best banana bread ever. It is so incredibly delicious. I love that the bread itself is super moist and tender, just kind of melts into your mouth, and then you get little crunchy bits of the pecans. And I also really like that it's not too sweet, it's not overwhelming. It tastes so good. Just out of this world amazing. I'm also really liking that maple glaze on the top. It adds even more maple flavor. Incredible. You guys are going to love everything about this easy banana bread recipe. It is super easy to make, and you can make it less sweet by omitting that white granulated sugar altogether and sweetening it with just the maple syrup. This recipe is so perfect for fall with all those maple syrup flavors. You guys are going to love it. Don't forget to head on down the video description box for the recipe link. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with a new recipe.